Yo, what's up, my beautiful peoples? We are back with day 2 of our series. And I noticed y'all probably peeping like these glasses hanging off my face, right? As I've been telling y'all, or as y'all kind of do and do not know from all the clips and stuff like that, I started training again. You know, by the grace of God and by the love and support of you guys supporting my videos and supporting my content, I was able to invest in myself. So I went and got trainers. A trainer specifically who could help me not only with my weight, my overall health, you know, but boxing and Muay Thai. I'm in particularly Muay Thai, you know. So I've just been working out a lot. And then earlier today, I was shadow boxing, playing with somebody, and boom, these went straight off my face, broke. But they broke in Hollywood Hills. I don't know if that like adds anything to this, but me and the homie, I went on a hike over there in Hollywood Hills, and when I tell you on that same hike, I saw my dream car and everything. I have the footage. It's going to be in one of the vlogs coming up. But man, oh man, have I been mastering my energy. Not even in like no crazy ass way where it's just like I'm this ultra fucking monk, right? I'm human just like everybody else. But I've been practicing not only vulnerability, but gratefulness. You get what I'm saying? When you're being grateful and you're vulnerable, you're actually very present because you're allowing yourself to feel what you've actually did, the energy you're sitting at, and the frequency you're at. And while I'm not going to act like everything has just been peaches and gravy, you know, just easy uphill, it does feel good to finally be in a space to where I have seen results from the work that I put in. You know, I was at a very low point for a very long time because I just felt like nothing that I was doing was working. I felt like nothing that I thought was for me was actually for me, and that was fucking with my self-esteem so much, man. I posted a video earlier today talking about how I had just hit 10K in my online digital store, you know, and that right there is like a goal or like a milestone for me, you know. When you're getting into entrepreneurship, you know, that first 1K be a little daunting. You be like, how the fuck do I make this work, right? And then you start getting a little bit of results, and then you hit that 10K mark. And right now I'm sitting around that 10K mark, just from the store, you know. And I realized, like, wait a second, if I can make 10, I can make 100. If I can make 100, I can make 1,000,000. Right? And that's not saying that the money is the end all be all, but it was just a subtle reminder that you don't have to stress. You just need to put the work in. Like, man, what I was saying earlier in that video, man, I went through like Little Caesars diets because them bitches are only like $7-6 and stuff like that. I, man, went through getting kicked out, family turning on me, thinking I'm crazy, calling me a drug addict. I mean, all the shit on the fucking planet. But for some way, somehow, God let me pull through. And that has been a blessing, you know? So that's what I actually want to start today's podcast off with, you know, just a little slight, subtle introduction. Man, it has been great. One of the things that I actually want to lean into, though, in this video is I went and I screenshotted a grip of, I'm not going to say a grip, but a good amount of people's comments, right? And in these comments, they're asking me questions, of course, right? They're asking me things. So we're just going to double back to those real quick and see what they talking about, man, live and in action. So I got one screenshot right here. She asks, can you please explain in your content why it's so hard for good women to let go of narcissists? Why do narcissists seek out empaths like myself? I know he's not good for me, but I'm having a hard time letting go. Or I'm assuming that's what she meant. So why is it so hard for good women to let go of narcissists, and why do narcissists seek out empaths? Well, you just explained the dynamic perfectly, right? Empaths, you guys run across these narcissistic individuals, and since you have the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you do that more times than not, and that causes you to be staying in situations longer than you need to because you're finding a subtle justification for the shit, right? When you're an empath, one of the biggest things that you have to learn is boundary setting. Because if you don't know how to set no fucking boundaries for nobody, if you just letting any and everybody run all over you whenever and however they want to, you're gonna get to a point where you don't want to live. You're going to get to a point where you don't actually enjoy your fucking life because all of your main life source energy is being siphoned off by this motherfucker. So that's typically why it's hard for the empaths to let go, because most empaths don't come out the womb knowing boundaries. You know, being an empath, everybody has empathy. You get what I'm saying? But true empaths, that's a spiritual thing. You were born into this bitch feeling the emotions of other people, just being hyper aware, because that was one of your gifts, right? But if you weren't in a household that was conscious of your gift, they weren't going to tell you how to set boundaries, how to put yourself first, how to do all these other type of things. They were just going to congratulate you for the fact that you were a people pleaser and you made everybody else happy, and they'll condone that type of shit because you were actually satisfying them in the moment. You get what I'm saying? They don't teach you, be like, okay, no, like, even though I understand what's going on, no. Even though I can see your point of view, even though I sympathize and I have empathy for the situation, no. Those aren't the type of things that's being taught. They usually be like, if you can see it from the other point of view, or if you can see it from their shoes, you know, you should give them some leeway and give them a chance, etc., etc., etc. But they don't talk about the damage that does to the psyche. When, yes, you can see why somebody's doing it, and they can see it as well, but they don't want to hold themselves accountable to change it. So you stay in the situation, and then instead of just leaving once they don't want to take accountability for it, you find another justification as to why they're neglecting to change the exact shit that they know is wrong. Right. That dynamic between empaths and narcissists isn't a fun fucking experience, because it's a perfect scenario. The empath is going to continue giving. The empath is not going to have boundaries. They're going to let people get away with shit. They're going to be ultra forgiving. They're going to be ultra communicative, all that other shit, right? The narcissist, they don't give a fuck about how you feel. They don't care about anything like that. They're just here to take. They're just here to get. And that's a perfect scenario, because while you're sitting there pouring into them, they're taking from you. And since it's a natural polarity happening in the situation, it creates toxic ass trauma bonds. That from my experience, that's what I've seen. And with most women that I talk to, even with myself, man, it usually comes down to a boundary issue. If you learn how to say, this is enough, I know what I said, set the boundary, and stop letting people push you out of that shit. That's another thing, too. You can't be letting people fuck you up and psych you out of your goddamn blessings, of your goddamn boundaries and all that shit. You get what I'm saying? Y'all will set a boundary with a motherfucker. Y'all be like, okay, nigga, I don't like this. I don't like the fact you're talking to these other bitches. I don't like none of that shit. I'm leaving, right? And then you'll leave, and then they'll be like, oh my God, I stood up for myself. I'm moving on. And then he hits you up that first time. And you're like, oh shit, do I respond? Nah. Because I remember what Jay told me. I'm not going to respond. And he double texts 3 hours later. And you're like, oh fuck, oh my God, is he sorry? Like, is this my moment? Is this the opportunity? Oh, I remember what Jay's telling me, but like, I don't know. And then you end up going back a fucking again. Oh my God, I don't know how I just got there. I lost my whole train of thought. You know, but that's actually the beautiful thing about doing these podcasts like this. You guys are saying my natural flow, my natural, like, essence, you know? When I start doing these podcasts and stuff like this, I'm going to try my hardest to not have this thing filled with, like, a whole bunch of cuts and stuff like that. Of course, there's going to be cuts in there, granted, because of stuff like that, because, like, if I want to smoke or something, I can't show that on here. Or if, like, the camera runs out of space or storage on, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be cuts and shit. But, yeah, no. We're not trying to stay in that energy. Now, I have more screenshots, and crazy enough, I have a lot of screenshots. Wow, I thought I had less than that. Okay, so the next person said, but to answer that last lady, work on your fucking boundaries. This person said, today I came across your video because I have been watching videos about this topic, so the algorithm was doing its thing. But today, God also sent me divine protection by revealing stuff I wasn't looking for in my partner's phone. God also sent me divine protection by revealing stuff I wasn't looking for in my partner's phone. It sounds like cheating, and I sympathize, because fuck, it's so much. I don't know what you guys' cheating and shit situations were with the phones and everything, but when I went through somebody's phone, I really got my feelings hurt. It wasn't just like text and shit like that. I saw the pictures and the videos from when the motherfuckers were on the date together. So I know that shock. It's like a shock in the moment. It's like your whole reality just got twisted upside down, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Damn, I sympathize with you. She said, "I feel really ashamed, disgusted, and filthy in myself. How do we overcome this?" I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna take a time. It's gonna take time, right? Because that's trauma. When you were betrayed on that deep of a level, and you had your whole reality just shifted and fucked within a moment, you're gonna have to go through a grieving period. You're gonna have some times and some moments where you're like, I'm really feeling ashamed, disgusted, and filthy. You get what I'm saying? That's actually completely normal. But you have to start pouring more focus and more attention into yourself and onto yourself. Giving more time to your passions, giving more time to your routines, giving more time to your healing, your shadow work, your therapy, all of those type of things. Everything that's associated to the embetterment and self-improvement of you. That's what you need to be focusing on. And prevent yourself from giving this person too much attention. Because that's when you're gonna start overthinking and comparing yourself and shit. Like, if you know that this motherfucker's out here cheating on you and doing all this other type of shit, do not try to go find that bitch's profile. Please. Please. You get what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get to a point where you start comparing yourself to her. Where you start looking at her and you're like, well, how could he go to her? Like, how could he cheat with her? And, I do all this stuff better. This one's broke. I didn't hurt it all. Does that help? Yeah, it is. But, don't compare yourself. And the quickest way that you can prevent you comparing yourself is by ultimately limiting the access you have to the things that you're comparing yourself to. Delete the motherfucker off Instagram. Block them. You get what I'm saying? Man, if they make burner accounts and shit like that and try DMing you, leave them in the request box. Don't respond. Make it very hard for you to know what's going on in their life. Because crazy enough, when you just get out of this space, you're going to be damn near fiending to know what the fuck that they're doing. You feel me? Like if the moments where y'all not talking and stuff like that, you're going to be like, oh my God, is he with so-and-so? Are they fucking right now? Oh my God, like everything in your chest is gonna hurt because you're giving too much attention to it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you're still gonna have moments like that because it's normal. But you have to start training yourself to take your attention off what they have going on in their day-to-day life and put it on you. Now, granted, yes, they're gonna be out there doing their thing. They're gonna be out there fucking. They're gonna be out there just doing stupid shit. You may feel that because what? You're an empath. But that does not mean that is your justification to go back or your justification to keep doing shit that you know is about to fuck you up. Remove yourself, and it's not always the easiest path to go down. Especially when you didn't plan the whole future out with the motherfucker. Y'all done did all this work, did all this investing. You're not just gonna wake up one day and just be like, oh, I don't care. Fuck that nigga. No, you're gonna have to get to that. You're gonna have to work yourself up to that point where you can actually say that. And that takes time and actual discipline. Don't fucking respond. Don't go DMing him and texting him randomly in the middle of the night because you miss him. And avoid all of that as much as you can. Discipline yourself to do something different in the face of adversity. How you've been reacting to situations probably isn't how you need to keep reacting to situations, because a part of what got you here was the fact that you typically react to shit and you don't respond to it. When a motherfucker does something stupid, you need to step back, analyze your emotions, analyze the situation, and analyze what is your best step moving forward, granted the predicament. But you guys get put in situations and you guys be so emotionally overloaded that you start reacting, and that's when it becomes unhealthy and predictable, because when you're just reacting, you're one dream away, you're one smell away, you're one thought away from sending a 6-page letter to this nigga, because you're reacting, you're not responding to it. But yeah, that's a process within itself. And don't expect yourself to just get it right on the first try. Like I tell a lot of women and shit that I talk to, you're gonna hit your head. You would be crazy to think you're not gonna hit your head. Hitting your head is part of the process. You going back to shit that you know was not for you is a key factor in you finally realizing what the fuck actually isn't for you, and having the discipline and the resilience to not go back. Because It's one thing to know some shit is not good for you. You have to actually go to that shit and experience the shit to see the effects of what it's like when you accept the shit that's not good for you. And after enough times of hitting your head, you finally learn one day, this shit just ain't for me. Everybody was right. I shouldn't have did that shit. Never again. It's a process though. So that's why you guys can't be so hard on yourself when you're like, man, I can't keep going. I keep going back to this fuck nigga. You're addicted. Your nervous system is fogged. You get what I'm saying? So it's like with an addict, bro. I say this in my calls, man. If you was a junkie, if you was an alcoholic, if you was on whatever the fuck, weed, I'm a victim of it. If you're weed, that's it. Don't get me fucked up. But if you tried to just cold turkey it, you'd feel like shit for a little bit. You'd go through withdrawals. Though with those withdrawal periods that alcoholics and drug addicts and all that other shit have, that's the same withdrawal period that you're having right now. Every single time you're like, I want to go back to this bum motherfucker, knowing that going back is killing you and taking years off your life. You're just addicted. You're withdrawing. Now, the people who actually recover are the people who can make it through the withdrawal period, aka the healing period. The people who actually withdraw from their narcissistic abusers are the ones who can deal with the pain of living life without their essence right there anymore. So you give yourself enough time to recoup and rebuild what the fuck you lost. But it takes time. But if the junkie keeps going back every fucking time he gets the fucking withdrawal, that nigga's never gonna recover. They're just gonna stay fucked up because they keep going back to it. That detox period is so important. Now I'll be talking, they'll be making it seem like I'll be like mean or something like that when I be talking about like no contact with certain motherfuckers. But I'm like, yo, you do realize what you're asking for and what you're doing is counterintuitive. You're asking for peace, you're asking for clarity, you're asking for a safe relationship, you're asking to feel love, you're asking to feel chose, but every single time you're presented with the motherfucking opportunity, you go towards some motherfuckers who's not giving you it. Right. We gotta start doing a lot more self-evaluation. From a healthy and loving place. Do not start beating yourself up. Like, why do I still feel like shit? Oh my God, I'm just so, like, I'm so sick of myself. Why can't I just get this over with? Like, oh my God. No, you're human. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to let yourself be human and feel the human spectrum of emotions. Like, you'd be pretty delusional if you thought you were exempt from the human spectrum of emotion. You get what I'm saying? There's a thing called emotions, and there's labels like anger, sadness, happiness, excitement, misery, betrayal, all that shit. Those things are for a reason, and then they have names for a reason. Why? Because majority of these motherfuckers walking around is experiencing one, if not multiple of them things at the same time. But at every given time, everybody's at least suffering from one thing. Like with mental health too, most people are fucked up. Nobody has perfect mental health. Nobody has great mental health. Now we can sit here and lie. Some people have their life figured out more. But my nigga, perfect mental health is not achievable unless you're a God and you literally transcend the ego to where you don't have one. You're always gonna be getting triggered by some shit. There's always gonna be a new adversity, a new challenge, a new opportunity for you to grow. You're never truly actually healed. If you ever run across a motherfucker who's like, I'm healed, I did all my fucking shadow work, there's nothing else that I could be accountable for, there's nothing else I could change, I know myself, run. Narcissistic. It's screaming off narcissistic. Because if they think that there's nothing that they can change, they're not seeing themselves clearly. They're not seeing themselves as good as they can be. Because nobody around this bitch is perfect. So for a motherfucker to say that they have nothing that they can change or nothing that they can take accountability for, they think they're perfect. If that doesn't scream narcissistic, you get what I'm saying? We got to start holding a lot of more people accountable. So this person, another person like DM'd me. I didn't really know what the question was on that one. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to say her name out loud, but yeah, you didn't really ask me anything. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. This woman, she says, we work together. So how do I stop running back to the toxic relationship? By going to work? and not running back to the toxic relationship. You get what I'm saying? Y'all, now I understand because you're like, oh, he's in my proximity, right? It's hard for me to do that. He may be talking to my friends, talking to my coworkers, everything else like that. But if you're going, you should be going to work. I don't know what type of job you have, right? I don't know if you're doing something that's like a purpose-driven thing, you know, like you think you're on your mission. I don't know if this is just something to get some money in so you can pay the bills, so you can make it to the next month. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to assume it's just so you can, you know, bring that bread in, just so you can go actually live your life, pay your car note, rent, food, all that other type of shit, right? You should be going to work solely focused on that. I'm here to do what I need to do to make sure I get paid, and all of you motherfuckers in here mean very little to me because you guys aren't the ones that's putting the money in my pocket. You need to focus on the fact that you have a job right now, that you have income coming in, and if you focus on that, you could probably switch jobs. You could probably level up, promote yourself. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what space you're in, but go to work and focus on work. Don't go to work and focus on him. Focus on what the fuck you're there to do. You get what I'm saying? And then after you leave work, distance. Go on about your life. You get what I'm saying? Like, for instance, let's say you sitting there at work, right? And he come up to you one day, whatever the case may be, try to talk to you, try to get back under in your good graces and shit. What's the chances of you really giving a fuck if you got a date with a fine-ass nigga that you like scheduled right after you get off work or 3 hours after you get off work? Are you gonna give a fuck about that 8-hour shift while you're sitting there with that nigga? Or are you just gonna sit there and put in that work so you can go get that paycheck so you can go have fun with the nigga you actually wanna have fun with? You get what I'm saying? Pedestalize these fuck niggas. They don't be having that much weight. They don't be pulling that much actual weight in y'all lives. Y'all give them power. If you want them to, if you want to feel powerful in your situation, like you're in control, stop giving that option to them. I'm here because I want to be here, and there's a reason why I'm here. And you're not gonna make something that's actually good for me. You're not gonna make me hate some shit that's good for me. What if that job, like what I'm saying, I don't know what you do, but what if that job was meant for you? What if you actually love that shit? And then you end up quitting that motherfucker just because you don't want to be around him. He done fucked you out your blessing. And you let him. You get what I'm saying? Versus if you just would have sat there and ignored him. Yeah, you're doing all this bullshit, blah, 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 blah. I'm finna stay focused, keep grinding. Next thing you know, in a couple months, you ended up with a promotion. You got to completely switch branches, switch locations, switch states. They hit you with some remote shit. Because of your discipline, because of your focus. Do not let niggas fuck your life up. Y'all be on the verge of letting them fuck your life up. What happens if you lose that job? Are you still gonna be able to pay for your shit if you don't have that job? So if not, fuck him. He shouldn't even be in your thought process while you're doing that work. Your rent should be in your head while you at work, not him. Recenter your priorities. And then crazy enough, if you recenter your priorities, you may actually be able to switch your whole life circumstance to where this isn't even a problem. To where you completely then rewired your fucking life and your routine and your career path, that is like you can't even be in the same spaces with this nigga because he can't afford to stand next to you. He can't afford to work where you work. That type of shit happens when you say fuck that nigga. You focus. You do what you need to do. But if you just dwelling on him and focusing on him, why you supposed to be sitting there doing your work, sitting over there glancing out, seeing what he doing, seeing if he texting somebody, air hustling the conversation, seeing what he talking about with the other girl co-workers and shit like that. You wasting your damn time. You might as well just go get another job if that's the case. If that's what you're gonna be spending your time doing while you're at work, go get another job. Because I always tell people, first and foremost, granted, I came from people who didn't have shit. You understand me? So don't blow my words out of proportion. But if you're going to go to work for something you actually want to fucking do. Something that you actually enjoy. Something that you're passionate about. Because crazy enough, while you're at work, you're going to enjoy it more. And since you're enjoying it more, it's going to require and demand more of your attention because of how deeply embedded you're getting into what you're doing. And you're not going to have enough time to think about this nigga. Because deep down, you're knowing that not only are you doing what the fuck you want to do, but you're making money. You're getting rent paid and shit like that. You got to put yourself in that perspective, Queen. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because if you don't, you'll be on the verge of losing all your shit. Solely because you don't know when enough is enough. All right, y'all, I just got a phone call that just completely threw off my energy, right? So remember how I posted that screenshot, right? And I was like, I hit a milestone, we hit this mark, kind of explaining to them, how I felt, and just giving grace and stuff like that, right? So my mom calls me, right? And she's like, after not hearing from her for so long, she calls me and she's like, hey, I don't mean to be in your business and everything like that, but can you please take that post down or like remodify it and stuff like that? Like, I'm happy for you, but I just don't want people knowing all this other type. Like, I want you to be like moving silence. I don't want my baby being a target and stuff like that. Well, all of those things is true. No, because I thought about those things, but then I also thought about the other side of it. And I also said that in the video for a reason, right? I was like, showing these things is actually inspiring and it's helping. And I'm not necessarily afraid of people looking at me sideways or feeling some type of way. I think that's life, right? But what kind of rubs me wrong a little bit, because it feels like fear mongering. You get what I'm saying? And when it coming from like a parent and stuff like that, it's always like, yeah, they doing it from love, but it's like, that was the same fear that was blocking me from even getting to where I'm at, if I'm being honest with you. Like, when I was staying at my mom's place, nothing was working in my favor. That's when I was telling y'all, like, the views and stuff was fucking up. I've been doing this shit since like 13, 14 years old, and nothing was working. That was while I was at mi madre's. You get what I'm saying? And the moment I was like, you know what, I feel like the energy here is just too tense. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something blocking me. There's something necessarily getting in my way, right? And I left because the tension in the household was too high. Within a couple months, my content started gaining more fucking traction. And I that's kind of what I mean. There's subtle blockages and there's subconscious blockages that sometimes even our family can be responsible for. And like I'm saying, it's not even because they're probably coming from a bad place, but when you're going down ranks and levels that they haven't necessarily took, and the frequency that you're sitting at, it's not necessarily understandable. You get what I'm saying? Like, because I know there's a lot of people, there's a lot of queens and stuff that follow me. Y'all got your own businesses, y'all got your own things going on and stuff like that too, so y'all really understand, right? Especially with where I'm at now, sharing my process and sharing my journey is kind of part of it, because I want to be able to eventually help you guys with content, start some type of program or some type of mentorship where I actually do help y'all get y'all confidence up, get y'all self-esteem up, believe in yourselves more so y'all can go after the things that y'all want to in life. And the only ways y'all is truly gonna trust me during that process is if, for one, you see me during the process, because a lot of niggas out here faking it, or they got it in ways that wasn't true to them, very faulty, or they don't show anything at all and you're just kind of like hoping that they got it. It's like, no, I'm showing these things for a reason, and it's always been unfortunate, that I feel like a lot of my adversity or like evil eye did come from my family, and that's not always the easiest pill to swallow either. If it wasn't for my camera being on right now, that probably would have sent me into a complete loop. I'm being honest, right? Because that's still madre, you feel me? That's still mama, you feel me? So you value their opinions and their energies, but it's like sometimes you gotta realize when, like, sometimes mama just scared. You feel me? Sometimes mama she ain't sitting where we sitting, so her decision making and how they feel about it ain't necessarily beneficial, and this goes for every other family member and stuff like that. I'm just not just singling out my mom, just singling out, the habit or the pattern, because that pattern's been shown within majority of my immediate family, and I think that's something that I had to work through for myself too, because that was part of the low self-esteem, like what I was saying, giving a damn about how other people thought about me, how other people felt, how other people were perceiving me, all this other type of stuff. It was prohibiting me from actually going after the things that I wanted and that I knew to be true, because I was moving out of fear. And I believe moving out of fear is one of the most counterproductive or counterintuitive things that you can do. Fear doesn't get you anywhere. When you live in your authenticity and you live in your focus, you live in your ability, and you live in what you know to be true, God moves things for you. God protects us. God opens doors that you didn't even know was fucking there for you to open. You get what I'm saying? God turns an empty brick wall to a golden 3 doors in a blink of an eye, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Where did these come from? Then you blink again, and all 3 of them are open. That's how God works. I've seen it literally in my life, especially with what I'm doing, what I'm talking about right now, content creation. Like, being an influencer, being able to help people, being able to inspire. Like, man, this shit took grit. This shit took me having to literally not care about other people's opinions and how other people are viewing me, and solely go after the things that I fucking loved, the things that lit me up, you know. And if I'm being honest, posting content, talking to you guys, and also sharing my wins as well as my fucking failures, that shit, it makes me feel good, because I've always posted, you know, trying to help people and stuff like that. And people then also saw me hit my fucking head. People saw me when I was on the verge of losing everything. When people were cutting me off, when I felt like my back was up against the wall. People saw me take massive L's. So to share one W and get that amount of fear put on me, like you shouldn't be doing that, that's what I'm talking about. You know? That's what I mean when people say people like you better when you're in a low vibration or you're struggling. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're in those positions, it's easier for them to feel as if you're digestible. When you're shining, when you're in your prime, when you're doing things that you haven't done in the past, and you exploring and getting to new limits, you're not always going to be digestible. And the craziest thing about life is that I've noticed the most support I've got came from strangers. The most love and put encouraging words and everything else like that came from strangers. The moment that I would look towards my family or like something like that, my mom, my dad, my papa, my grandma, no, my grandma held it down. I will say that. My papa was too, but then something happened and he didn't even agree with what the fuck I was doing, because that's what I'm saying, everybody wanted me to do what they wanted to do. And I really just got to that point where I just didn't listen, and me not listening brought me so much peace of mind. I'm not gonna lie, because I started to learn the power of trusting my decisions and co-creating with God, you know. They even say this for like religious people, like, you're gonna walk through the valley, or the shadow of death or something like that, you know what I'm saying, but no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I'm not Christian. I grew up in a semi-Christian household. I'm not Christian. I did read the Bible like front and back multiple times, but I'm just chalking that shit because I just haven't practiced it in a pretty long time. But yeah, damn, that's a throat chakra. But yeah, I've just opened myself up, and that wasn't always the easiest thing for me to do, as y'all can clearly see. Like, how I started this video off clearly isn't how I'm ending this video. And you can see how fast energy shifts, how fast, you know, you can be in your energy and just world will throw you off a little bit. And then it also shows you how quick you can bounce back, because it didn't take probably only like a minute or so after that phone call ended and we hung up for me to turn right back on the camera to start venting, transmuting, you know, not sitting in the bullshit, not sitting in negativity, not sitting in, you know, people's ideas and people's fears, just not sitting in it and moving on with it. And I think that's what God has shown me. God is showing me. My training is showing me. My combat sports is showing me that you can take a punch and realistically you can keep going. You can get hit dead in your shit, get completely discombobulated, and magically you can get right back in like nothing happened. That's because a lot of us, we have internal strength, we have internal wisdom, we have internal guidance that's leading us and pulling us in places and helping us achieve and unlock certain codes and certain realities. Oh, my girl texted me. Yeah, you're good. But yeah, it's just, we have to stay focused, man. I think if we allow things to deter us too much, we'll fuck ourselves up and we'll make this life a lot harder than it needs to be. Solely because we haven't learned what truly trusting ourselves looks like. Okay, now a little bit of a sidetrack. The random dude just hit me up, right? Asking about getting a wingman or something like he's wingmanning for his homegirl or something like that. And he's trying to find her a man, all this other type of shit. I'm like, hey, brother, I'm okay. I already have a partner, but much blessings to you and your homegirl. I hope she finds her man soon. Damn, is it really that bad out here? Yo, I don't think it's that bad out here. It's not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe most people are like ugly. You know what I'm saying? Even if you do have something a little off. You know what I'm saying? Everybody a little medium ugly somewhere, you know? There's always somebody for you. There's always somebody for you. And you don't have to go out your way to like mingle and force relationships, because those relationships usually end up falling through or with you getting fucking taken advantage of. Majority of the time, it's best to just live your life. It's best to just focus on you, your energy, and what you're actually doing. And you're gonna naturally run into people. You're gonna naturally meet new people the more embedded you are into what the fuck you're doing and what the fuck you believe. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're sitting there pouring nothing but positive energy, alignment, and abundance into your life, you're gonna be at the right place at the right time to meet the exact person that you needed to, and that was gonna be on the next season of your life. You know what I'm saying? To help you in this next journey. But we be panicking. We be like, oh my God, I'm not gonna find my person. Oh my God, it's not gonna be nobody else. And I hate when it's a young person talking like that. Somebody around my age talking like that. Cause it's like, man, what the fuck? What's going on here? You get what I'm saying? Why are you so distraught? Live a little bit. I know that it doesn't feel good being by yourself and lonely and cheated on and all that type of shit. But to a certain extent, that's just the human experience, you know? And like, we can't fight that. When those type of things happen, it's just like, okay, I don't like it, but it's not the end of the world. I'm still breathing. We still here. You know what I'm saying? So we still have another opportunity to go after the things that we want and the things that we know to be true, you know? It's a very toxic headspace. But then when the older women start doing it, because I talk to a lot of older women too on my calls, y'all be out here tripping. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all be, I'm used goods. Nobody gonna want me no more. I'm not as cute as a 20-year-old no more. I can't have kids no more. I'm blah, blah, blah. Baby, there will always be a nigga older than you. There will always be another dude out here. I don't give a fuck how fucked up it looks. I don't give a damn how damn bad you think you are. And there's 8 billion people on this planet. You better not be delusional and think that you're just the only one walking around this motherfucker who likes certain things and has certain discrepancies and has certain flaws, and you're the only one out here looking for love. There are millions of men looking for you. You. In all ages, all shapes, sizes, all different type of economic statuses, everything. They're looking for people like you. They're struggling in love. There's men who have also had nothing but fucked up love experiences, and now they're in their 40s and 50s having to rebuild some shit that they thought they had secured in their 20s. It's out there. But you have to be receptive and open to running across that type of individual. Never think that you are out the game. The moment you think you're out the game, that's when you actually are out the game. Because subconsciously, you're going to start doing things and making moves that put you out the game. You get what I'm saying? Like, the person who doesn't truly want to be on the field, for instance, let's say a nigga playing sports. Let's say you playing sports, Quinn. If you didn't actually want to be on that basketball court during that game, you know what you do? You would gas yourself out hella quick. You would go hella fucking aggressive. You would give it your all at the beginning and then tire yourself out into a point where the coach has to take you out, because deep down you knew that if you were tired, you weren't going to perform well and the coach would have took you out. So you're going to subconsciously overexert yourself when you don't fucking need to. It's crazy how I get into these analogies. And as I be talking, sometimes I don't even remember where it started from. I just be taking y'all, it's like a journey. When I get into these long form videos, I'm taking y'all on a journey. We don't know where the fuck this ship is going. We don't know where this bitch is about to land. Just know that it's up in the air and it's not coming down. It's up and it's stuck. Man, I've actually fucked with Cardi. I think that's who made that song, right? If it's up, then it's not. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I think that was Cardi. I think that was. And if that was Cardi, I fuck with her. Man, I swear I'm not gonna say it been an inspiration, but you could say like a subtle muse, you know? Cause I talk to her in some of my content. I channel her. You get what I'm saying? Amongst other women, of course, like mothers, grandmothers, people that I've saw. But Cardi is a big inspiration because I see her heart. Through all the bullshit she go through all the media slander and shit like that, she actually seemed like a dope-ass person. Now, granted, I haven't met her. You know what I'm saying? I haven't chopped it up on the phone with this woman or nothing like that. To be sitting here talking about she's this ultra person or this terrible person, I'm not even finna put nothing like that out there. So I haven't actually had a chance to sit down and talk to this woman. But when I'm an energy person, you know what I'm saying? I'm an empath, and I can tell when somebody hard in the right place. You know, I can tell when they trying. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay. I fuck with Cardi. She got that bright ass energy. You know, it's actually funny because I'm not gonna name drop anything. Even though it's kind of crazy because sometimes I be wanting to name drop because I'm like, why does it even fucking matter? You know what I'm saying? If it's real life, if it actually happened, why not say it unless it's some crazy shit? You get what I'm saying? Unless it's something where it's best. Basic things, you get what I'm saying? Like people be acting like who they are and what they're doing is the most top secretive shit on the planet. Let them be put in a situation where they actually got to keep a motherfucking secret. They gonna tell. They gonna start chattering. Blah, 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 blah. It happened here, there, at this time. He did it, she did it. It'd be crazy. But nah, certain people from, like, you know, her immediate surroundings and certain people that she be around follows my content, you know, tapped in, and it's just blessings because, you know, I see how alignment works, you know, like I understand what soul tribes are, you know, I understand what divine alignment is, and you know, when you're going down the path and you start meeting the people along that soul tribe, you know, it's just like certain subtle confirmations where it's like, you know, I wasn't tripping. You know, I wasn't, you know, out of my rockers. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, man, why am I a dude and I like Cardi B? What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? I thought I was supposed to like some NBA young boy. I don't like that shit. I'll play some Salute, killing you hoes or something like that before I play some fucking NBA YoungBoy. And you see, that's why niggas was calling me a simp and soft and all this other type of shit before, you know, I blew up and actually just started articulating. I'm not gonna say I blew up too, because even that within itself sounds like egotistical. You get what I'm saying? Bro, when it comes to this path that I'm on, I try my hardest to keep my ego out of it. I try my hardest to stay so humble. I do. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't want to not only fuck my shit up, but become a blockage in my own life solely because I have too high of an ego. You get what I'm saying? Like, when I get into my content, when I start posting the content that I do and helping people, it's a different spirit that comes over me. You know, I'm no longer in me mode. I'm no longer in what do I need, how do I feel, what needs to get. I'm automatically, what does this queen need? What's on her spirit? How can I help these people? And crazy enough, I live my content. You get what I'm saying? Like, not only do I spend all goddamn day filming and doing different shit like that, editing, talking to calls, but it's getting to the point where, bro, I get approached in like real life and random people. It literally happened today. A random person came up and just started articulating themselves to me, telling me, you know, about, you know, their relationship and all this other type of stuff. And that happened. That conversation started within like the first minute or two of us talking. I It's like when you're living in your authenticity, when you're living in your frequency, these things don't just stop when the cameras turn off. These things don't just stop when nobody's looking. You're living it throughout your whole motherfucking day. So like my ego and my vibration has to stay high because this is deeper than just social media. They're like, there's people behind these screens, and the people that's behind these screens, I'm helping. Like, y'all, I've had people approach me. It's getting to the point where I get noticed out in public. You get what I'm saying? That, let alone, was a crazy feeling, you know, at first. But then I kind of started getting used to it a little bit. I was like, okay, this is dope. Thank you guys. You know, you guys keep it very cool too. Y'all don't be like going crazy and like blowing the spot up and like making me feel hella uncomfortable and shit like that. Y'all just be acknowledging me, like, you know, hey, I be seeing you. You know, I watched your video earlier, or you know, the one person was like, you know, you really helped me heal. You know, she gave me the broke down. She was like, yeah, I was in a fucked up space and stuff like that. Like, y'all don't be bringing like that toxic ass energy to me. Y'all really be, you know, encapsulating me with support and love, and really be making me feel confident in what the fuck I do and the things that I go after, y'all. Like, y'all just kind of saw it like live and in action. Like earlier with that phone call, like I'd be lying if I said that didn't throw me off, that didn't, you know, get my energy kind of out of whack. But then right after that phone call, man, I opened up Instagram on accident, and I see the DM of somebody saying like, yo, thank you for this advice. Thank you for posting that. You know, thank you for doing this, because I needed it. You get what I'm saying? I didn't think that this was possible. I had problems, you know, getting people to buy, and I didn't know people would actually buy, and, you know, I could make money, you know. You get what I'm saying? Like, you guys give me the courage and the strength to keep going. Because I know even if I am fucking up, I can't be fucking up that much because of how many people I'm impacting. And when you get to the point where your DMs and your request box is just filled with thank yous, I love yous, you've helped me, like, geez, you're opening my eyes. It's like when people come with negativity, and not just this instance, when people, in general, I done got called simps, I done got called pandering, I done got called bitch ass niggas, pussies, faggots. I mean, everything under the book, that anything that you can think of that's a fucked up name to call somebody, I've probably been called it, all just solely off the fact of I do what I do. If I focused more on that than the love I get, man, I'd be crippled by life. I'd be crippled. So I have to move through life kind of light. It's like when something happens, when something doesn't go my way, when I face an adversity, when somebody sends some negative energy, when somebody sends some fear, when somebody sends some doubt, I just have to let it off. I can't sit in it. Because the longer I sit in it, other shit don't get done. I swear to God, this video almost didn't get turned on a couple of times. Why? Because my energy was so out of whack. I was like, damn, maybe they'll just get a 30-minute today. Like, damn, I already feel kind of bad because I didn't, you know, stick to my goal and everything. Like, no. Get your energy back right. Get back in motion. Get yourself back right. Because it's in your power and it's in your control to keep manifesting and staying in a divine alignment to what God is telling you is meant for you. We have to start trusting ourselves and not harboring shit. Man, I used to harbor shit. Man, somebody said something I didn't like, somebody felt some type of way about me or something like that. I was the first one to feel some type of way. I was the first one to go get in my feelings. You get what I'm saying? And let that shit fuck me up all day. Oh, I can't believe this motherfucker just, damn, I can't believe they cut me off. I can't believe that car was faster than mine. Ain't that some shit? They think I'm a bitch because I just let them over in this lane. Like, I used to harbor shit like that and then wonder why I didn't have enough energy and enough focus to go after the things that I needed to go after the things that I wanted. I was tripping over small shit. Why did that lady say that to me? Was she racist? Oh, she must think I'm a nigga. Okay. Bet. Stupid shit. Instead of just being like, oh, she was having a bad day. Or even if she did think I was a nigga, I am a nigga. You get what I'm saying? I'm going about my fucking day. I didn't have that type of perspective. I used to sit there and let that shit eat at me. And my mental health was getting so fucked. Oh my God. That's probably why I wasn't able to help you guys sooner. I was harboring shit. What did Erykah Badu say in that song? Bag lady, you gon' miss your bus. Dragging all that stuff cause you won't learn. Yeah, niggas, when niggas see you coming, niggas take off running from you. It's true, oh yes they do. Erykah go stupid. But nah, nigga, I was carrying shit. Oh my God. What did she say in that other song? Fuck, I'm so mad I don't remember these lyrics, nigga, because if the song came on, I swear to God, I say this shit word for word, bro. That shit pissing me off. She had 5 cents up in her pocket or some shit like that. She hungry, her high coming down. She can't afford to eat. All this, like, bro, Erykah is a real ass woman. And I was gonna say a real ass bitch, but she that type of woman, I'm not even gonna call her that. She'll probably call herself that before I call her that. That's a real ass queen right there. I fuck with her, man. She's dope. I actually had a run-in with her. Let me move the chair back. I moved my chair up trying to get all closer and shit. That shit was uncomfortable. But I remember I was with my papa, right? So I'm sitting there, he's been talking about Erykah Badu, right? Right, because y'all probably do or do not know. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. But The Legacy, he put out the first rap album. So he's always talking about some type of artist, some type of music. This nigga's, bro, his favorite rapper is Mozzie. And he's 86, and he's a Pan-Africanist at that. You understand me? The complete opposite. He loves this nigga. He gets it. Like he's a rap head. It makes it. Well, spoken word. He's a poet. They say they don't like being called rappers, but they do. I don't know. I do know, but it's just too much for me to get into right now. Maybe for the next podcast, right? But he was always bringing up Badu, you know, just always, you know, talking about her. Like, he even used to make jokes. He was like, man, hip-hop sells anything. Badu smells of her pussy, and the music has helped selling it. Now, for part of me thought he was kind of like just ODing it a little bit, but then as I started talking to people and I learned like that was actually a thing. Now, granted, fucking with the internet, it could have never been a thing. But I think, from my understanding, it was a thing, right? That's why I'm saying she's one funny ass woman. But it was just one of his friends or something like that. I guess they was doing like a little private album screening, like, you know what I'm saying? One of those little album release parties. That's what it was. And it was with Badu and this one other dude. I guess he's like some type of musician or something. I'm really fucking up these people's names. My memory is too much weed, just being honest. But he invited my papa out, and my papa, the day of, we in the car. I swear to God. Oh my God. So I got all my equipment in the car and shit, right? This nigga sitting right over here, the passenger seat. And we're like, okay, we're about to go shoot some more content for you, right? We're about to go do you some reels. We're about to go drive to Watts, get everything right. That dude calls him up on his phone. He like, yo, Erykah's, you know, having a release party tonight. We want you to pull up or whatever the case may be. So my papa's like, he look at me like, and I look at him like literally while I'm driving, I'm like, so what's it called? Long story short, it was that same night, my nigga. It was that same day. So, you know, my papa's going through that thing like, damn, you know, I wonder if she knows who I am, you know, just all that type of stuff, right? So we get there early, right? Because I was still driving them everywhere and taking them to these events and stuff. And that's how I got the pictures of her, right? If y'all go on my Instagram, I probably need to put those pictures back up or something. Or actually go to my papa's Instagram at I'm the Poet, and the pictures are there. So we're sitting there, we get there early. And nobody's there. We don't see her, whatever the case may be. So my papa's in the back, and I tell him, like, why not just sit in the front? You feel me? Like, I'm almost certain majority of these people in the room know who you are, or once they get aware of who you are, they're not gonna mind you sitting in the front. Like, a lot of the people that was sitting in the front was people that, like, my papa taught growing up, like, taught them how to rap, and then they started fucking rap careers and shit like that. You feel me? So I was like, why don't I just go up there? But it was like, nah, I want to be back here, you know, let them invite me up. You know, it's always better to get invited up to the front than kicked out from the front. And I was like, that's game. I respect it. I'll send my ass back here. You get what I'm saying? So we sitting there, and out of nowhere, it's like the room shifted. Like, cause I could just feel it. It's that empath in me. I start seeing security guards start kind of moving kind of different, like the same ones who was in the room the whole time. But now their demeanor's a little bit different and stuff. I'm sensing it because, you know, I'm aware of the room. I think that might have just been where I grew up to. I'm aware. If I'm in the room, I know who's there. I see you. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, she's about to come in. And then I see a whole bunch of people go to the back door. So I'm like, okay, cool. I look at my papa and I'm like, okay, she about to come in. You feel me? So he like, oh, okay, maybe. So she walks in with her security guard, her entourage, and all that other type of stuff, and she had a photographer, right? So they walk straight past me and my papa and everything, don't notice them, don't notice us, right? And my papa was kind of like, oh, you know, I guess I'll just wait till she comes to me. She might be busy and all that type of stuff, right? So we wait like 15 minutes, and she's just in the corner of the room. You know, she's talking to people, you know, things going on, it's music playing and stuff like that. It's only about like 30 people in the room max, right? So I'm like, go up. I'm like, why not just walk up to this lady? You get what I'm saying? Why are we sitting here being so timid? I think you want to meet her, and I think that you've been put enough work in your life to where this hi is respectable. It's valid. You get what I'm saying? So he's like, okay, we get up, he walks up. And he walks up behind her. And I guess he like taps her or something. And he's like, Miss Badu, nice to meet you or something like that, right? Or like, hi. Or no, he's like, hi, Queen. Something like that, man. I'm chalking the fucking words. Don't piss me off. But he was like, yo, what's up? And she was like, oh, she didn't say anything. Actually, she turned around, looked at him, and as soon as her eyes got laid on my papa, I swear to God, it was like, because, you know, she got that little low vibe. She'd be mellow. She'd be in her vibe. It went from, and I was like, oh, shit. You feel me? I was like, whoa, this is Badu. You feel me? I'm like, damn, is she reacting like this to my papa? Like, this is crazy. This is dope. And she's like, yes, I know exactly who you are. Like, oh my God. Like, you know, I didn't expect to like meet you and like all this other type of stuff, right? I remember my papa, because they had a no camera policy, but I took my camera in there anyways. I'm like, I'm taking pictures of my papa. I gotta have it. He about to meet Badu. Like, there's no way in hell I'm about to leave it in the car. Like, we got to talk to somebody because this camera get it in. So my papa tells like, yo, I want to get this picture. My grandson wants to get this picture. And Badu, you know, she looks at me, and I swear to God, it was like this was the longest, like 1 to 2 seconds of eye contact ever. I was literally looking into that woman's soul, into that woman's spirit. It felt like the longest goddamn 1 to 2 seconds. Like, it was like, huh? Right. That little gap, I was so goddamn present, nigga. Oh my God. But she was like, then she reached over and she whispered in my ear. She was like, yo, hurry up and get this picture. The security want to take your camera. And I was like, oh, my fault? Shit. Okay, hold on. And I got it. And her photographer was standing right there next to him. Tell me why his flash was fucking up. My camera was the only one that went off and captured the picture. No other camera in the room was working, and it would have missed that one moment. But that one moment is literally Erykah Badu and my papa. That legacy, putting out the first rap album. That shit was so potent. And even though the picture wasn't the fucking greatest, you know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't completely snap and go off the wall, it wasn't all high HD, 4K. Like, nigga, I was slightly out of focus. The room was dark as fuck. My flash was fucking up too. I had to do what I had to work with what I had. Like, but I got the shot. And the moral of the story is you can clearly see the two people's faces and them looking in the camera, and it's a real picture. It's not AI. That's all that fucking mattered. That's all that mattered to me. That's all that mattered. And Man, moments like that shit open your eyes, bro. I swear it does. It just to life and people. You know, sometimes we'll pedestalize people to the point that we forget they're human. Where we're like, you'll look at a star and forget that they go through shit too. That they fucked up mentally too. That goddamn, some of these motherfuckers is struggling financially too. You get what I'm saying? They making $10 million a year, but their bills is 9.998. You know what I'm saying? They're walking out that bitch with two racks. You know what I'm saying? They taxes taking all their money and shit. There's some people with the same stress that you got. They might just look a little bit different. It may just be a little bit, shifted. They may not be dealing with the same exact fucking things you're dealing with, but they be dealing with shit too. And I think being around my papa in particular and that legacy and being exposed to that many type of artists and that caliber of artists showed me that these people are just people. They just put the fucking work in. They put the work in and God blessed them for the work and alignment that they had, that they was focused on. But these are normal people. This is no different from me, you, all of you guys, however many people this thing gets to. They're no different. But we'll look at all the outside factors and all the outside things and think that there's somebody outside of us like, nah, they shit just like us. They'll wake up in the morning and they'll have to go take a shit in the morning. And it stinks, just like you, nasty ass. Jokes and love. But yeah, man, I think that's probably it for this episode. I've then took y'all, like what I said, on a whole fucking journey this video. We done had ups, we done had downs, we done went in circles. We done did a lot this video, but I really do love y'all for sticking it out this long. If you have stuck it out this long, I fuck with you heavy. Go comment the number 1. If anybody made it this far, comment the number 1. And that lets me know that, damn, people actually do fuck with what I got to talk about. People will actually sit there and listen to me. That type of confirmation, let alone, it's like, damn, okay, I'll keep doing it, Even though I said I was going to keep doing it anyways. That reassurance helps. When we talk about this, I need it too, But all seriousness, I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. If y'all want to book a one-on-one call with me, right? Because I have my coaching sessions. I have the 1 hour and the 30-minute one up. Go click the link down in the description, the Stand Store link. You can book your session. It's real quick and easy. You can pick the time you want it for. You can leave a little additional note letting me know kind of what you want to talk about and everything. So I have like a little heads up. Everything's real nice and simple. And I also got books down there, man. I got my life story book. I got the Narcissistic Patterns ebook, and I got an ebook for men. You feel me? Like healing through, their toxic masculinity and fucked up parents and, terrible childhood, just all the little shit that men go through while trying to become a actual divine masculine. I got a lot down there up in that link for y'all. So yeah, man, I love y'all. And I hope y'all have a beautiful rest of y'all fucking day.